Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Please give me a moment. I gotta get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way so I can sort of see what's going on here. Let's see. Firstly, we'll see if we can get chat to work. Come on, please type it in, please. And we are good to go. Please excuse me, I will have a little bit of a furry intrusion here. It's a little orange kitty that desperately wants attention right now. So, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Alrighty. Let's see. Take this down. Anyways. Well, I know it's been a little bit since I streamed. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Hope my audio is coming up. I'm trying to get the picture to pull up for some reason. My screen's freezing up. I hope it isn't freezing up on your end. I'm sorry, I'm kind of distracted trying to fix that. Let's see, are we working here? Appears to be. I hope the audio is good. All right. Well, tonight I really wanted to go over a few things that have been popping up in the news recently. One today kind of really set up some more red flags. The first one, it'll be on, I'm about to pull up, it'll be on Bounty in the Comics. We have this was from, just actually scroll, if it will. I'm getting some lag on my end. From August 25th. This article is written by John F. Trent. It's talking about Amazon Studios will declare the Lord of the Rings of Power a victory regardless of actual viewership. Well, nobody's surprised by that because, well, they've spent over $1 billion on it. And they need a win on this because some estimates on Forbes and others are saying that it could cost them dearly on the studio itself. Amazon will be fine, but the Amazon Studios may take a bigger hit than they anticipate. But anyways, Business Insider claims to have spoken to a number of anonymous insiders at Amazon Studios explaining what success for the series, which is estimated to have cost upwards of $1 billion for the first season, looks like. In a report, writers Elaine Lowe, Eugene Kim, and Allison Brower, I guess, assert word from those who've seen episodes is positive, and several industry insiders predicted to Insider that Amazon will find a way, regardless of actual viewership, to sound the trumpets of victory. Well, one, the only things that we've had, the only reviews that we've had so far are you had some people that, whether they want to admit it or not, they accept pay and gifts to go to England to watch a screening. Then you had where they, some other ones, all the reviews, all these little reviews they've been giving are worded almost exactly the same. They'll change like 2 or 3 words, but they're almost exactly the same, and they're in exactly the same tone. I don't trust any of them. They're shills. The show could be great for all we know, but I don't trust them. I want to trust my own eyes and hope for the best. But we'll get into some of my concerns on that. One anonymous insider described as a former senior Amazon Studios executive also told them the reason why it's going to succeed is because the executives at Amazon need it to succeed. If it doesn't succeed, there's going to be a big question from Amazon's chief executive officer, Andy Jassy, I guess, and the board. This alleged executive added, if we can't take this piece of IP and make it successful, why is Amazon Studios even here? It has to succeed. There's no option. Well, this same insider noted that people's jobs could be on the line if the series does not perform well. Explaining to Business Insider, I think Amazon Studios chief Jennifer Salks, or I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that last name. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm trying to be decent. Position. There is very, very secure, but all the senior leaders are probably not sleeping well right now. It's a high stakes moment for them, the insider added. Now, before we go much further, the screenshots, they look pretty, but some of the visuals look really good. But I have to honestly ask, do some of these scenes look like they spent $1 billion? And seriously, some of these look. I've seen wedding photos that look done by local people that look better, and as far as capturing and the costumes, I'm not even going to go into that one. You can actually see one scene where they're getting off a boat. Has they're wearing t-shirts. They are literally wearing t-shirts. You can see the there's one that I'm trying to remember who he was that posted. You could see a Hanes logo. Okay, something's wrong here. This is not $1 billion project. Anyways, Bezos years ago stated that he wanted to have his own Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, he decided to get his own Game of Thrones by not actually having somebody create one. He decided to grab Tolkien's work. And they better hit it out of the park, because interest in the show absolutely cratered after Comic-Con. I mean, it's pretty rough. I mean, whenever you're getting higher anticipation for episodes of the House of the Dragon series, which, quite frankly, I have no intention of watching until the Pudgy Keebler Elf. I mean, George R.R. Martin actually finishes his other 3 books for the Song of Ice and Fire. He doesn't deserve another dime, and none of his shows deserve my viewership until he fixes that. But Amazon's really going to have to hit hard, or they're going to burn, because $1 billion, yeah, for Amazon, that's nothing. That was probably Jeff Bezos' pocket change. He probably pulls out at least half that from his couch cushions. But you have, like I said, now I've heard good things. Before we go any further, I've heard good things on House of the Dragon. I've heard some people that really enjoy it. Of course, they're also on here bringing up the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which that series just went downhill quick. I mean, I didn't expect much, but boy, there were enjoyable moments. I'll say that there were some enjoyable moments, but you really had to turn your brain off and not actually think about it, and definitely not be a fan of the original 3 movies. You could not be a fan of New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. You could not be a fan of them at all, because this thing absolutely, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series just absolutely defecated on continuity. But let's go to the next one, because the next article, because it's actually related to Rings of Power more, and it's one from, I believe, today, and it kind of aggravates. Yeah, it's August 30th. Lenny Henry, unapologetic about altering J.R.R. Tolkien's work. in the Lord of the Rings of Power. We're telling the story now. Yay. Red flags, anyone? Yeah, this is also written by John F. Trent. Actor Lenny Henry, who plays the non-Hobbit Sadoc Burrows, recently made it clear he has no qualms with changing J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings story in Prime Video's The Lord of the Rings of Power, especially when it comes to how the characters are depicted. Henry spoke with the Sunday Times, which I tried to get that one. I am not paying for the Sunday Times. Sorry, it's not worth it to just be able to read that. And they want you to go to the paywall for some reason, or at least it did on my end. And specifically addressed changing the races of the characters as originally depicted in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings for the Rings of Power. He explained it has everything to do with modern identity politics, saying that's to do with it being the 21st century. People want to see themselves. No, you depraved lunatic. I mean, good Lord. I don't watch things to see myself. I watch things to escape. I watch things to be entertained. What type of narcissist is so obsessed with I must see myself in everything I watch? And that's the type of crowd that these people are pandering to. The same ones that have ruined every bit of our entertainment. Star Wars is dead. Star Trek is dead. Doctor Who's dead. They're going after Battlestar Galactica. They killed Cowboy Bebop for a live action, which they never really should have done in the first place, but boy, did they screw that up. A Resident Evil live action, I could take or leave it, but they apparently did rated even very poorly on Netflix, so that got burned. And they're going after more and more properties, and the people that they're going after, wanting them to change to accommodate them, which is the problem with it's a strength and a weakness of most fandoms. Very welcoming, very inviting, and that's the problem. You let people in that have ulterior motives, that want to get in and destroy. They want to get in, take over, then run you out saying that you're not a real fan, that it's a space they created, even though it's been there for decades, that longer than they've even existed. It's sort of like they're claiming with Tolkien fans that they weren't real fans. We're the real fans because we are the ones changing it. We got to add our politics and agenda into it, which absolutely goes dead set against everything that Tolkien wanted with this. I mean, there's a reason why my thumbnail that I'm using on this video is particularly this. Fantasy is escapist, and it is its glory if a soldier is imprisoned by the enemy. Don't we consider it his duty to escape? If we value the freedom of mind and soul, if we are partisans of liberty, then it's our plain duty to escape and take as many people with us as we can. And when you break it down, that is what writing is escapism. That's what his writings did. You didn't have to see yourself in it. You didn't have to see yourself in the world that he created. You were there to be able to escape from the world that you're in. This is a man who saw war. This is a World War I vet. He saw things that would give nightmares to basically anybody now. Stuck in trenches. He got trench fever. I mean, he's just terrifying what you encountered in World War I. The man lost a lot. And he didn't come back the same. But still, he persevered. But he made a way for people to see something, to be. One, in his just making something, he made a lore for England, basically. He made a lore, because it was almost without one. He made something people could escape into, to look into, its own mythology. something that it was missing. They could escape to it, away from the things that they had to deal with. I'm sorry, if I'm reading a book or watching a show, I don't want to think about how the world is burning around me, how I can barely afford the gas to make it to doctor's appointments for the month. Now I'm wondering how I'm going to be able to afford the next few weeks of food. I just want to sit there and read my book. I want to be able to enjoy it and escape. If I'm watching a show, which, let's say I'm doing that, I have, you got all sorts of free services like Tubi and stuff like that. I don't want to watch a show that just constantly reminds me of the crap that's going on in the world. I don't care about your identity politics crap. I don't care what you look like. I don't care who you're boinking. I don't care any of that as long as it doesn't involve children and animals, and as long as it's consensual. It's none of my business. It's none of anyone's business. I don't care what you look like. I just want to escape. But you have to push your own identity into everything. You have to push your agenda into everything. You've tainted everything to the point nobody can stand it. Nobody can stomach watching a lot of the stuff that they grew up with, they used to love and enjoy. Star Trek was absolutely burned to a damn crisp. Thanks to the cinematic antichrist, as one person put it, J.J. Abrams. But it's not really just him. People allowed it to happen. People said, okay, we'll just keep watching it. We'll just consume product and move on to next product. That's what we get. Consume, move on. Consume, move on. Whereas the people that have come into the fandoms and destroyed it, they're like locusts. They come in, consume what they wanted, destroyed it, make it run off the people that were in it, because the people that were in it originally, it was something they enjoyed, they loved, they wanted to maintain and preserve it for it to last for generations to come. These people came and saw, hey, these people are enjoying this. Let's stop it. We're joyless turds. Let's make sure that these people run off from every place that they feel that they may have a way to escape the reality that life sucks. And it does. You do what you can to fix the world as you can, but you have to be able to escape or you're going to go mad. You have to be able to you have to play video games, something. You have to get stories like with Lord of the Rings or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or old comic books, because you can't do it with modern comic books. Or you watch shows. You watch some movies. You watch. You go to a theater and you watch. You watch a stage play. Some people do that to escape. You watch any number of things, but you're not allowed to escape anymore. These people won't let you. They will do everything they can to come in. Anything you enjoy, they will come in, they will taint, they will burn, they will destroy. And they will blame you for what they're doing. They'll say it's your fault that it failed, not ours. We've just demanded that you changed everything to accommodate us because we're the more important. We're going to screech that we're a victim of something so that you'll back down, your spine will fall out your ass, and you'll decide to say, hey, we'll just give you what you want. Okay, just so we can live peacefully, we'll give you what you want. We'll change this character to be like this. We'll change this to be like that. We'll change names, we'll change locations, all this. Just to pander to people that don't give a rat's ass about what you're doing. They don't give a rat's ass about the product that they are, which is what they're calling it. Instead of calling it an intellectual property, or they call it a product. Whereas we call it entertainment, culture. The fabric of civilization will be ripped apart by these people just to make sure that they are pandered to and coddled. Because, oh no, I'm offended is the number one thing that people have to hear. Well, screw them. I want you to be offended. I don't care. Be offended. If you're upset because I enjoy something that you don't, you demand it to be changed, well, here's an idea. How about you write a nice complaint letter and fill it out real nice, make it several pages, and fill out a nice header on it, put a nice stamp on it, and whenever you're finished, I'll tell you the address, but I'll tell you an address to write down, and then you can immediately proceed to bend over and cram it up your own ass. And if you need help, I'm pretty sure somebody near you will be happy to assist you in cramming this letter up your ass, because you don't deserve to be pandered to. You don't deserve to be called. Nobody deserves shit. You have to earn it. The only thing you're a victim of everybody claims they're a victim of something. This gentleman right here has been a comedian, writer, and actor. I'll go over, I believe it's since the 80s. He was born in 58. Sure, he's seen some shit. But this is the same person who squealed victim after True Identity, where he was the lead role in an American movie, True Identity, in 1991, and a contract to do 2 other films with Disney for about $1 million. The movie flopped, bringing in less than $5 million. And of course, the contract was canceled, and the first thing he did was squeal victim. And he's still crying about it. He's a good actor. I'm not taking that away from him. But if all that you're doing is playing the victim game, what's your purpose? I wish him the best. I hope he does well, because I've seen him do well in many other things. That Chef, which I haven't watched, but I've watched the other things on BBC that he's been in. He is actually a really good actor and a really good comedian. He's had some crap roles, and whenever he gets those crap roles that don't make it, instead of just saying, all right, well, this one didn't pan out, better luck next time, he goes and says, oh no, it's everybody else's fault. Screw him. If he tries that with this Rngs of Power debacle, because the writing in this, I have not seen not one glimpse in a trailer of anything that even remotely feels like it could be even related to Tolkien's work. They keep on saying, oh, it's just, no, it looks like a generic sci-fi fantasy show. It looks like a show that would fit right at home in mid-2000s sci-fi channel. That's it. I'm getting tired of this. I mean, you got somebody, he is so damn obsessed. As Henry noted in his most recent interview with the Sunday Times, there are no black hobbits in Tolkien's writing. Okay. So, there are also no hobbits in the Second Age, which you're in. You had to change that too. He does describe Harfoots as browner of skin, smaller and shorter, and they were beardless and bootless. Their hands and feet were neat and nimble, and they preferred highlands and hillsides. However, Tolkien also notes the Harfoots had much to do with dwarves in ancient times, and long lived in the foothills of the mountains. They moved westward early and roamed over Eriador as far as Weathertop, while the others were still in the Wilderland. They were the most normal and representative variety of hobbit, and far the most numerous. They were the most inclined to settle in one place, and the longest preserved their ancestral habit of living in tunnels and holes. And yet they've taken the Harfoots that Tolkien described, and now they've made them nomads. In the trailers, whenever they talk about they go from land to land, it's dumb. You can't even keep consistency. You're saying that you're using him, but in previous interview with Empire Magazine, Henry also provided details on this nomadic tribe of Harfoots that never existed in Tolkien's writings. We're a nomadic tribe moving with the weather and the fertility of the crops, which makes no sense. We have big caravans on wooden wheels, and we're very good at hiding things because humans are much bigger than us and bring trouble. He then again parroted identity politics talking points finally, in this show, kids are going to see people of color taking up space in the center of a fantasy series. That's all that matters to you. That is absolutely it. That's all that matters to him and these people that are writing this. Mind you, this is being written, the showrunners. The hacks are disciples of J.J. Abrams, which, if you want to go on who these people are, let me see if I can pull them up. Others have done it more times than they can count. They have pulled up who these people are. And this is just absolutely the most pathetic excuse for... you'd have one of them. Let's see if I can get it to pull up. One of the writers. The other one has no credits to him. Let me see. Come on, please load so I can show this. See if I can pull up who this. Let's see. Yes, you have these two gentlemen are, if I can get this to kick over, they're the ones responsible for this. Creators Patrick McKay and J.D. Payne. Now, let's go over their credits, because everybody, I'm sure, is going to be happy to know that this person, if I can see what he has a Flash Gordon earlier screenplay announced, so they haven't even done anything with that. He's a writer uncredited in Star Trek Beyond, which I'm sure everybody loved that movie. Yeah, the dumpster fire. And then this. And then the Rings of Power. Then you have, let me get back to him. Come on, go back. So I can show it. You have J.D. Payne, which has his credits. Thus, you have J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. Did I screw up and not do Patrick McKay? Or was it almost exactly the same? It may be the same. It is. They have basically exactly the same bio. These people are crap. They're disciples of the person who has destroyed everything he can. But we're having to watch this. I'm sorry. I saw whenever he was going over this, whenever I read this and read more on Lenny Henry just talking about we have to change things to make it more representative of modern times. So other producers for the show have been saying we need to change it to represent modern day. No, we don't. It was never meant to. You have butchered, tortured, and destroyed every bit of any possibility of even having anything to do with Tolkien. You took what they had in the appendices for Lord of the Rings, and that's what you got the rights to. And you have taken characters that already existed and turned them into, they made an entire dumpster fire. They really have just, I mean, think of Galadriel, what they did to her. She is now no longer Galadriel. No. She is Galadriel now, warrior princess. I'm sorry. They have taken everything that made her imposing, that made her intimidating. They took everything that, I'm sorry, that Kate Blanchett was able to really show she had a commanding presence in that role. She's an actress that can pull off actually doing that. It's not just the camera work, the way she presents the lines, the way she delivers them, the way she moved, was really able to push it. Now, I'm not saying that Peter Jackson was absolutely faithful. No, he was not perfectly faithful to the books. He was as close as we're going to get, but quite frankly, there's no way you could be absolutely. But this thing didn't even fall into the same ballpark. And instead, now mind you, this comes out for the U.S. It starts on the 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I believe, on the 1st. And it's the first 2 episodes. But it'll be on the 2nd over in England. You know, the death day of J.R.R. Tolkien. It's just... these people... I'm sorry, ranting earlier, but I've seen enough of this crap. I've seen enough of them going through and destroying anything that brings anybody joy, because they are joyless turds that are hell-bent on making sure that any property, anything that we may slightly enjoy, that may slightly allow us to escape how crap the world is, how crap everything is. We need the escape. That way we can clear our minds. We're able to escape into these other worlds. We're able to go and we're able to mentally escape from that which is weighing us down just for a little while. It allows us to wind down so we can sleep, so we can actually face another day, so we can try our best to make things better. But if you don't have a way to escape every once in a while, you're going to crumble. Believe me, believe me, I know about as well as anybody that's done this one. I went through cancer treatments, and if it wasn't for the fact that I had other things to escape to, I would have snapped. Your every waking moment is hell whenever you're going through it, when you're going through chemo. You don't get a reprieve except for reading something, watching something, playing a game, and even then, it's a struggle to escape, because you can't escape your body falling apart on you. You can't escape being sick, but you do what you can to help your mind get away, because if you don't, you go into some really dark places, and that is what they're trying to take away from people. Things that either allow them to escape, give them hope, inspire them. Some people were inspired by some characters from different series, different books, and they do everything they can to take it away, to change it to the image that they want. This person we got a race, gender, any type of swap they want. And we don't care if it makes sense when we do it. No. It's all for agenda. It's all for, look at what happened to the Academy Awards, the Oscars. You are now required for any movie to be nominated for an Oscar. You have to have a certain percentage of different ethnicities, as well as sexual orientation, and this, that, and the other. You have to have all this representation in there. Nobody gives a damn if the movie or show if the movie's any good. Who cares about that? We're going to have our representation, which means that anybody that gets nominated for an Oscar is going to will probably have it in the back of their head, because all it is just one big celebrity circle jerk anyways. They're going to have it in the back of their head saying, hey, you know what? I didn't actually earn this. I got it because I look like this, or because I sleep with this person, or because I do this, that, or the other, not because I actually had any damn talent to begin with. Who knows? The person could have great talent, could have have a wide range of acting talent, just depth and ability to make a character come alive, but they're going to have it constantly in the back of their head because they become a diversity purse pet for the people that run the Oscars and the other movie agencies, these production companies, and Amazon's studios or Disney or whatever, whenever they're trying to go through and say, we're going to be as diverse as humanly possible. Yeah. What do we get for it? No, there's no good stories left. Has anybody seen anything new? No. They're completely focused on taking things that were and crapping all over them. That's all that matters to them. I mean, the last decent thing I saw, I'm not going to say it's a great movie, but I actually enjoyed it. I was able to escape for a few. You have The Samaritan. I mean, I advise go watch it. And if you got Amazon, which most people do because they use it for shipping, I don't have a choice because I have to get certain medical supplies shipped, and it's cheaper through Amazon to my house. So I have to use it. But if you got it, you might as well use you might as well go and watch. If you got Prime Video because you have Amazon Prime, you might as well go watch this. You might as well go watch you might as well go watch Samaritan. I mean, it's not world changing or anything. Some people say it reconstructs the superhero and stuff like that. I can't really say that because it's actually it's actually a story that's been used before, but the performance is good. And you're able to escape. I'm not saying it's the best movie ever, but it's a good movie. It's something you can watch, and you don't have to completely even turn your brain off. But I mean, what are we supposed to? But we're running out of things we can do. Watch. I mean, it's bad whenever I'm excited. I'm going this Sunday to watch two movies in theater that were made before I was ever born. I'm more excited by older stuff than anything new because I know it's actually going to be entertaining. It's going to be good. Now, I'm going to go watch Jaws in IMAX. Couldn't pass that up. I'm going to go watch The Wrath of Khan in theater. Things I can escape, watch, and just enjoy. And I couldn't pass up seeing Jaws in IMAX. If there's still tickets for you to get them. They're you won't regret going to see Jaws because Jaws is just a damn good movie. And you won't regret Wrath of Khan because I know people that didn't like Star Trek before that still don't like Star Trek but enjoyed Wrath of Khan. Kind of hard not to like Ricardo Montalban. But let's go over something else, a little bit different, but it kind of goes on the crap that happened with the death of Star Wars' franchise. He's not the person that ultimately killed it, but he's the one that basically, because at this point, people are bringing up, you can watch Mandalorian. Really? After what happened to Gina Carano, I can't really see me going back through, and unless somebody says, "Hey, would you watch it?" and maybe get an opinion on it, I may do it then. Luckily, I got months before that comes out. Book of Boba Fett was just downright damn disappointing. It had a pretty good battle toward the end, but 2 of the episodes were basically season 3 of The Mandalorian, and for the most part, the show was boring as hell, dull. They neutered the character. Obi-Wan was a big disappointment. I haven't really sat down and watched Bad Batch or anything. Well, the last Star Wars movie I actually somewhat enjoyed was Rogue One. And I have no interest in watching Andor. I really don't. It could be a good show, and I'm not going to say that doesn't have a potential to be a good show. I just have no interest in it. I am just disgusted. Everything's been crapped all over. This in Star Wars Last Jedi director Rian Johnson says he's even more proud of it 5 years on. Claims ending embraces the myth of Luke Skywalker. You've turned him into a manatee molesting hermit. Yeah. Yay for him. Apparently he didn't pay attention. Despite the untold damage his subversive experiment did to both the franchise's reputation and its box office plans, Rian Johnson says he's more proud now of his work, of the work he did with Star Wars The Last Jedi than he ever was before. Really? Are you really happy about how you treated John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran and others, where you just kind of, poor Kelly Marie Tran, actress did not deserve the crap she received for the role that she played that was absolute garbage. That was one of the most poorly written characters I've seen. I'm sorry, the gonk droid, or however you pronounce it, that gets his feet burned in Return of the Jedi had more depth of character than what they wrote there. You have poor John Boyega crapped on. He didn't deserve that. He's actually a good actor. And I haven't really seen Kelly Marie Tran in many things, but it's just absolutely terrible. Johnson spoke to his own continued appreciation for The Last Jedi during a recent retrospective interview with Empire, given in honor of the widely panned film's 5th anniversary, as asserting outright that he was even more proud of it 5 years on, as when I was up at bat. I really swung at the ball. Well, you swung at a set of balls as an umpire, and you royally knocked those out of the park, because you sure as hell didn't do any good making this movie. I mean, it was so bad that even though I heard there was it's like I enjoyed Looper. I wondered since the day I saw the Last Jedi, how did this idiot make Looper? I actually enjoyed Looper. Am I saying it's a great movie? No, but it was enjoyable. I won't watch Knives Out because screw him. He's another one that doesn't deserve any attention. He doesn't deserve any money thrown at him. They're him absolutely defying the notion of throwing away the past. No. All right. Johnson also offered a defense of his highly polarizing choice to kill off original trilogy hero and arguably face of the franchise, Luke Skywalker, which screw Mark Hamill, sorry, but he's an absolute jackass. I'm already demonetized by now, not that I ever get monetized anyways. He explained to Empire that the final images of the movie, to me, are not deconstructing the myth of Luke Skywalker, but they're building it. And they're him embracing it. You had him OD on the Force and up and disappear like a fart in the wind for no apparent damn reason. You turned Carrie Fisher into Space Mary Poppins in her last role. You wasted Carrie Fisher. J.J. Abrams wasted her too. Wasted the last chance you could have got the original cast together in one scene. But no, can't do that. I mean, it's bad enough that Force Awakens was a cheap knockoff of A New Hope. And it was exactly a cheap knockoff. It's the Wish.com version of A New Hope. You got Vice Admiral Gender Studies here, which still upsets me, considering, dear God, you wasted one hell of an actress to make this crap. Wasted. Absolute wasted character. Even if you look for the character in the book for Hodo, you got Admiral Gender Studies here is nothing like her book counterpart, which was actually compelling. It's just, this is the type of crap. You have the people that go through and say, well, We want it changed for this, that, and the other. And then you have those that come through, no matter how crap it comes out. Oh, it's the fans' fault for not liking it. They should be shunned. And I'm proud of what I did. Okay, well, I'm glad that you're proud of what you did, which was destroy anything of potential that maybe Abrams could have salvaged something, but instead he had to throw a Hail Mary and drag in Ian McDermott to reprise the role of the evil testicle face, Palpatine, because the makeup looked like a damn testicle. It looked like he was wearing a scrotum on the top of his neck. Okay, that is exactly what the makeup that they did for Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker. He looked like a damn scrotum. He looked like an old man's scrotum. It's just, be proud of the crap you made. Just don't get upset whenever people don't come back and watch the stuff you made, because you didn't do good. You didn't. I have no intention of watching anything new that this man does, and he's still talking about, well, they may be giving him a series. He made something he took something, Star Wars, that you could escape into, that you could enjoy and escape into. He turned it into within the first 5 minutes, I wanted to throw a remote through the TV because they're pulling up a "Can you hear me now" joke from Verizon back in the early 2000s. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No, I'm sorry. You want to edit that scene to be better? They immediately, as soon as he starts saying, "Can you hear me?" they immediately turn on the lasers and vaporize his ship, drastically improving the movie. It's just, how? I mean, I'm outdated as hell. I'm not gonna lie about that. I am outdated, and I know I don't get a lot of things, a lot of references and stuff. I just don't get them. That's just me. But I don't know how these people think that they don't try. Nobody's trying to make anything new. Not at all. All they're doing is going through and saying, we're going to take what people enjoy and crap on them. They're going to destroy it at all cost. And what do we get? We get it destroyed. And fans just sit there and take it. Throw money at them. Just consume product. Move on to next product. Consume product. Move on to next product. You got the Marvel franchise with Disney. What's the point there? After Endgame, it's all been downhill from there, but people will still pay the money, watch the crap, say, consume it, whether it's good or bad, they don't care. They'll watch it and move on to the next thing because they're defeated, as they think there's no better alternative. Same goes for a lot of stuff on Netflix. I mean, we only got a few good things left even on Netflix. You got Cobra Kai. Thank God for that, and that's coming up soon. Thankfully, I'll be able to use that as a palate cleanser for whenever I'm doing whenever I do my live stream reviews of with a friend of mine of the Rings of Power, or the Rings of Prime. I'll be doing about an hour after each. Other than the first 2 episodes, because it's the same. I'll be doing about an hour after the 2 episodes are over. I should have the live stream running then, because I got to take notes. But about a half hour to an hour after each subsequent episode after that, I will have spoiler. I'll attempt to be as good and behave as well as I can for spoiler-free reviews of the show. I'll give any warnings if I'm afraid I may slip. But I want the show to be good. Don't get me wrong. Please be good. Please, for the love of God, be good, because I'm running out of things to enjoy. Because quite frankly, oh boy, I can binge what? I can spend a couple hours and I can watch the entire new season of Cobra Kai, and then I have nothing. Then I'm back sitting down watching reruns of Frasier for the 30th time. Nothing against Frasier, just you can only watch it so many times before you want to run power tools through your skull to get rid of the memory so it can be fresh in your mind. There was other news on Rings of Power series, and let's see, no interest in. I won't do anything with Rolling Stone. Screw them. No offense. I got one from. Well, we got a little bit. We have. This is from Variety. Jeff Bezos thanks Rings of Power showrunners for ignoring his notes at Lord of the Rings UK premiere. Says son told him, please don't F this up. Amazon boss Jeff Bezos, pictured above left. Well, no kidding. It's kind of hard not to recognize Dr. Evil. Sorry. I can't resist. He looks a lot like Dr. Evil. Okay, it looks like what happens if Dr. Evil has a really bad day. Now, mind you, this is, like I said, on Variety, written by KJ Usman or whatever. This was like 4 hours ago or something like that, according to the showrunners Patrick McKay and John D. Payne at the UK premiere of the Amazon Prime Video series on Tuesday night for ignoring his notes on the show. Every showrunner's dream, every showrunner, their dream is to get notes on scripts and early cuts from the founder and executive chairman, Bezos quipped, while introducing the first 2 episodes of the series at the Odin Lux Cinema in there. I'm sorry. Sorry, England. They loved that. I need to thank both of you. Thank you both for listening whenever I help, but mostly I need to thank you for ignoring me at exactly the right times. I hope you're just as happy whenever it ends, because does this look like a man who truly is happy after what he saw? Does this look like a person that looks excited to see more? This is a fake smile with the look of desperation, like, oh, I'm so screwed. Hell. In a rare speech, the Amazon boss told the audience, which included Tolkien's grandson, Michael Tolkien, Amazon studio boss Jennifer Salk, head of television Vernon Sanders, cast members, press, and even some fans dressed in full Middle Earth cosplay. Not going to comment on that. As I already saw some reports on there. Yeah, that wasn't cosplay. Let's just say they were provided. That he himself first became enamored with the fantasy books as a teenager, and that his Tolkien-obsessed son had warned him not to F up the series. My grandfather's the one who introduced me to Tolkien, said Bezos. I fell in love immediately. I was probably 13 or 14 years old. I fell in love with the adventure, of course, with the detailed universe, with the feelings of hope and optimism, with the idea that everybody has a role to play, and I'm happy to report that cycle continues today. My kids have become Tolkien fans as well. In fact, one of my boys I think, approaches the level of a Tolkien scholar. You clown. Look, I know they're going to say whatever they can, and who knows, it may be good. It really may be. But I can tell you, I can look corporate. You can see corporate speak. It's publicity speak. This right here, this face right here, is a look of, if this is looked at, I hope these suckers buy it. Because if not, we're screwed. That is the look on his face. I've seen whenever they show him overjoyed about something, happy about something, actually entertained with something. That is not that look. That is the look of a man who's about to crap himself and is trying to hide it because he's in public and tries to save face. Okay? Well, I guess I've gone on long enough. I've ranted too much on it. It's just things that aggravate me. But you know what? I'm going to actually get to some good news. Some news that actually makes me happy. And it's something that's important to me. I hope that you find it fascinating. It is important to a lot of people. And dang it. This is something that's happening tomorrow. It is going to happen tomorrow. It is very important. There are many YouTubers that have done great videos on this. Fine, screw you. I don't want anything to do with you since you want me to click your subscription there. I'll go to this one. Okay. This is, I know it's not going to be important to everyone. But I at least hope you take the time to look at this. This is on News 2 out of Houston. Okay. Battleship Texas will make milestone journey to Galveston for the $35 million repair. They're basically going to have to replacing the keel with as much as that. Now, a little backstory: the Battleship Texas is the last of her kind. She's the last of basically super dreadnoughts of her time. She was a World War I boat. She was part of Teddy Roosevelt's White Fleet, and before anybody makes any comments on that, all the boats were painted white, and it was sent out as part of a publicity thing. Her sister ship was the New York. She is the last of her kind, really. She served in both World Wars on basically every front that she could, including D-Day. Like I said, please look into her. There's plenty of videos on her that I say that really need to look into. I've toured the boat. I love boat. She's a hell of a ship. If it says anything, I love the ship so much I went out of my way to get it in like World of Warships just so I could say I had it on there. Okay, it's a pixel boat that was worth money to me. We'll put it that way. No pixel boat is ever worth money to me, but the Texas was. All right. The iconic Battleship Texas will make a milestone journey to Galveston on Wednesday from the San Jacinto Battleground State Historic Site, according to news release. Now, another thing, this area, they get some pretty good images and stuff. They've already stripped her down, basically, of everything they can, and fill their hull with foam. Where she's at, San Jacinto Park, is really a bad spot for tourism. The way it has developed since, and you have refineries and stuff developed along the way, and in between getting on the road to get there, and they're not just repairing, they're not just redoing the hull, they're not just fixing that. They are going to they're looking. They got different candidates for places to move her, for more access for people to look at her. All right. This photo was from May 2012. Photo shows the battleship Texas in its berth along the Houston Ship Channel in LaPorte, Texas. Friday marks the 100th anniversary of the day the ship entered the water at Newport News Shipbuilding construction site in Virginia, now part of the Texas State Parks system and awaiting a restoration project. It's the oldest surviving U.S. battleship and the only American battleship to participate in World War I and World War II. And you have what's in Galveston. The 105-year-old vessel will undergo an extensive $35 million repair at Gulf Copper and Manufacturing Corporation's shipyard to fix the hull. The release states the project group dedicated to repairing the battleship Texas includes the Battleship Texas Foundation, Valcor Energy Services, and the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. The ship was commissioned in 1914 and is the last big gun battleship in the U.S. Naval Fleet. The ship participated in some of the most significant naval battles in both World Wars. It carried soldiers home from across the Pacific following Japan's surrender of World War II. The Battleship Texas became the first battleship memorial in the United States when it was decommissioned back in 1948. The battleship has been a popular site for paranormal activity where people have claimed to hear unexplained noises and witness other bizarre activity. There's also a ghost figure that has been seen moving around the vessel and hanging out on different decks. He's usually smiling at people. I don't know anything about that really, but that's just one of the things that I decided to toss in. Okay, news too. Let me see if I can get you some better images of her, because she is one beautiful boat, one beautiful ship that they're moving her tomorrow. So when they move her, they're going to start the last mooring line. Last mooring that they're doing is at is at 3 o'clock. The last attachments that they're doing before they pull her out. It's going to take a while, and they're going to try to get by the afternoon. They're trying to get the ship to Galveston, where they have a mobile dry dock, which is really neat. They had to repair it real quick because it got hit with a hurricane a while back, but it got repaired. They got good weather to move to Texas, and it would be. It's definitely a thing to go through. If you ever get the chance and you're down there after they do the repairs, you definitely. They're going to try to keep within the Houston area, so it won't be going back to San Jacinto Park, but it will be going to places. They're just looking at different ones. One of the candidates is Seawolf Park. A big problem with the Texas, though, with its age, is it has had a lot of flooding. That's why they're having to do the hull. Like I said, there are just an absolute ton of videos on YouTube for you to look up that will be much more informative than anything I could do. But I hope that the slide here will at least give you some idea of how pretty she is. I mean, it may not be pretty to some people, but to me, it's a beautiful boat, beautiful ship. And when's the last time you stood on a 105-year-old ship? I mean, you get some very pretty angles. Now, of course, this is in San Jacinto Park. I got some pictures on there too. There's some images from the park itself. It's just, there's one of the secondary guns that was on there, one of the props. The tour of it is great. Well, not really a tour. You can do a tour that will take you into different sections of the ship. There's just something about being able to roam around that's kind of neat. But they had some areas that you had to have a tour. You had to schedule a tour to go through. Unfortunately, with my size and height and everything, I can't fit in most of them. Particularly the height is really what's killing me, because I have to hunch down the whole time I'm walking through it. But that's me. Others will have a more comfortable time. But I would recommend going through and searching. Of course, let me see if I can get to the actual foundation website to pull up this time, because if it'll actually load, would be nice. All right. All right. Let's pull this up, because this is a press release that is from the foundation, the Battleship Texas Foundation. Battleship Texas will be departing San Jacinto for repairs at Gulf Copper Galveston on August 31st. San Jacinto will be closed when the ship gets underway that morning, but you will be able to watch the ship from various locations along the Houston Ship Channel, Bayland Island, and Texas City Dike. Galveston Naval Museum at Seawolf Park and Pier 21 will all be good viewing locations. We will also be live streaming throughout the day on our YouTube channel and in our Facebook group. This page will feature live tracking below for your convenience. This is an estimated schedule. It is subject to change. There will be live updates on this page throughout the day, which will be more reliable than the schedule. This is an estimated schedule. 3 a.m. work starts at San Jacinto. Our live stream will start. Sorry, my mic cut out. Man, sorry, they can't just unplug my headset cord again. I was wondering why it was going berserk on my end. Okay. Alright, like I said, 3 a.m. Work starts at San Jacinto. Our live stream will start around this time and continue through the entire day. Please remember that San Jacinto is closed after the Battleship Texas is underway. 6 to 7:30, Battleship Texas gets underway and enters the Houston Ship Channel. This is one of the slowest and most complex steps of the day. The timeline from this point forward is at the discretion of the pilot and based conditions encountered during towing, and may differ from the schedule significant. Please remember that San Jacinto is closed until at least 9 a.m. 11 to 12. Battleship Texas will cross under the Fred Hartman Bridge and enter the bay. The ship's speed will still be at the discretion of the pilot and based on conditions encountered during towing, but we will not exceed 6 knots. Do not attempt to watch from the Fred Hartman Bridge. It is illegal and extremely unsafe to park on the bridge. From 2 to 3, Battleship Texas will pass near the Texas City Dike. Sorry, I had to get a drink. The end of the Texas City Dike will have an excellent view at this time because the Texas City Dike has a direct line of sight down the Houston Ship Channel. You may see the ship begin to come over the horizon earlier than this, but the closest approach will be around this time frame. 3 to 4, Battleship Texas will enter the Galveston Ship Channel. The ship will be visible from Galveston Naval Museum and Seawolf Park at this time, and we'll get a good view of the ship turning into Galveston Ship Channel. 4 to 5, Battleship Texas will arrive at Gulf Copper, Galveston. This will be visible from the Pier 21 area in Galveston. The ship will wait at Gulf Copper while the riding crew prepares for dry docking and waits for the appropriate tidal window. At this point, we may pause streaming depending on how long it will be until the next steps. Late August 31st to early morning September 1st, Battleship Texas will be maneuvered onto the dry dock and lifted out of the water. This process will be very slow once it begins. If we stop, we will resume streaming at this time. This is an estimated schedule. It is subject to change. There will be live updates on this page throughout the day, which will be more reliable than the schedule. This is an estimated schedule. Excuse me. Let's see, get an idea. Here she is. And let's see. See if I can get it. She has to travel from where she's at all the way down to Galveston, which is a little bit of a trip. But anyways, let's go over some frequently asked questions. I hope if anybody's there that they're at least finding this interesting. I'm going to be watching this tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be watching this. Is the Battleship Texas moving? Yes, the ship is being moved from San Jacinto to the Gulf Copper shipyard in Galveston for repairs to the ship's hull. When will the ship leave? August 31st. We went over that part. Will San Jacinto Battleground State Historic Park be open to the public viewing? No. I already stated that. When will the San Jacinto Battleground State Historic Park site open? Goal is to have the ship out of the slip and navigating down the Houston Ship Channel before the San Jacinto Battleground opens at 9 a.m. However, the San Jacinto Battleground will remain closed until the battleship has started moving down the Houston Ship Channel. Should the ship not leave by 9 a.m. Will the ship departure be live streamed? Yes. What is the tentative schedule for ship leaving? There, you went over that. Will there be an opportunity, to see the battleship in the dry dock? Yes. From Pier 21 area, the Battleship Texas Foundation is working on plans for additional closer viewing opportunities at a later date. Will drone flights be allowed? Drone flights within the boundaries of San Jacinto Battleground SHS are by permit only per FAA guidelines. Flights over or near both the battleship and monument are restricted, as are flights over the ship channel and industrial neighbors. Can I follow the ship on my watercraft? Water traffic will be restricted throughout the ship channel and within a safety zone of the ship while it's under tow. How do I get the most accurate? You can have where you can look in. Now, let's see. I really do hope that some of y'all find this as fascinating as me. It's something that, like I said, I thoroughly enjoy. She's a beautiful ship that really needs to be taken care of. Please come to the website. They got a whole bunch of stuff on here that is where you donate, volunteer time. They have some interesting stuff in their store. Besides the shirts and cups and stuff, there's actually a limited run Colt Python that I don't think they'll show on this. That you can get lighters. Yeah, like I said, there is a limited run Colt Python that, oh, here it is. You can get for donating. That's a beautiful piece of craftsmanship there. But anyways, I guess I should probably call it. My throat's about toast. And I'm sorry I ranted so much earlier, but it's just, there's things that are aggravating me. I'm watching the things I enjoy and love be absolutely wrecked. And, it's not just movies and TV shows and books. They're actually going after other things, physical things. There are even some people that are after museum ships. Well, why are we spending money on that when we can spend it on this? Well, they're run off of donations. What, you're saying that you should be able to take somebody's money because you know where you can spend it better? Screw you. It's the whole problem with government taking money and taxes. There's no accountability for where they do it. We don't get to see any results from it. I mean, how much do we pay in gas tax and everything else? And our roads are crap. Our infrastructure sucks. No, but we're spending billions and billions and billions more, and they keep talking about billions and trillions more, and all the money they've thrown at it, the roads are still crap. Our power production is so far outdated that it's pathetic. We haven't made the cleanest form of power in the country, in the world, is nuclear power. And we haven't made a new reactor since the 70s. The ones we have are falling apart. They're barely able to run. But oh no, solar panels, this, that, and the other, all because they're making money off of it. Whenever half the congressmen, in particular the ones that are speaking the loudest out against the government subsidies, all the while voting for the subsidies for the solar companies, are making the money off of it. All the while virtue signaling and pandering to the very people that are going through and destroying our culture and wanting those politics drug into it. Oh no, the world's on fire, the world's going to end in this much time. No, I don't even give it that long, because people have no means of escape and they are getting angry. My advice: read older books, watch older movies, play video games. Older ones are great. Don't fall for the narratives that these ass clowns are making, that you're an ist or a phobe or any number of things they want to call you just because you didn't enjoy the turd that they just decided to plop out on the plate in front of you and told you to eat, and you refuse to eat it because it's a turd. Don't consume the product that they put out there just because it's a product to consume. I'm going to torture myself with the Rings of Power. And if it is good, I am going to say it is good. I am not going to, if it is bad, I'm going to say it's bad. If it's meh, I'm going to say it's meh. I'm going in this with an open mind. I just don't like the people that are doing this. That are wanting to inject their agenda into something that it doesn't work on. It really does not work. Tolkien was very specific that you could not do this. He was very specific that you are in how he made his characters, how he wrote his books. There was nothing in his books that he didn't intend to be in there. Everything was as he put it. And these people think they know his book better than he did. And this is a man who not only wrote the book, he basically wrote the damn dictionary that we're reading nowadays. Well, he did write most of it. You don't correct the man who wrote the dictionary. He, and then you have ballsy writers like, Martin, George R. Martin, trying to claim that he was better than Tolkien. Yeah. How many book series has Martin finished by chance? Still waiting on the end. I'm still waiting on several more to finish, but instead he has to buy his choo-choo trains and write for video games and other shows. It's like this whole House of the Dragon. It's a series of books that hasn't finished, that was written, that stalled the release of other books that he hasn't finished. He's going to be gone before any of it's finished, and I have no faith in it. I don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the books that he had released, but I won't give the man another dime until he completes the series. I won't watch his crap. I won't play his game. This is why I won't play Elden Ring. Besides it being frustrating as hell for most people, and I just don't have time for that. Even if I did have time for it, I won't give him the time of day for it. Just now. It's not worth it. Not to me. And, but at least from what I've seen with people, with Tolkien fans, they're not putting up with this crap. They're not putting up with the changes Amazon's doing, and we are going to either get a great series or we are going to get a great time watching them burn Amazon verbally to the ground. They are going to trash Amazon if they screw up. And rightly so. It's going to be fun to watch the backlash. Maybe after they take such a hit from losing that much money, it will teach them something. But I doubt it. Because these people never learn. But anyways, well, I'm sorry. More ranting happened because I suck at this. Either way, I hope you at least found something entertaining. I hope you at least, please let me know. I'm sure I'm off the mark. I have to be. I can't be not off the mark saying that none of this looks like Tolkien. That none of this is good looking. It looks cheap. And that diverting from his work just crap. I'm hoping it's good. I want this to be good. But let me know. Let me know if what do you think down below. Please comment below, like, dislike, whatever you wish to do on that. Please consider subscribing because, like I said, it's a thing earned it because I will be doing weekly streams for right after each episode of Rngs of Power. And you know what? We're going to leave with one little thing. It's a simple thing that simple. It's a little simple book that was written that works for it kind of describes what people need to do with this to keep this working, to try to make things better. Because I know I'm bleak on everything. I know I'm down. I feel down on this, but it is worth fighting for what we got. And maybe, just maybe, if we fight hard enough, we can take back what was destroyed and remove the cancerous rots that attacked them and restore what was once beautiful in this world. And that's where this last simple phrase comes in. There's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. And you know what? We have to. Everything's going. You can't just give up on it, although Lord knows it's tempting. Don't just put up with them attacking you, by the way. They're going to call you anything they can to try to cover for their own failures. Just be peaceful about it. But, let your voices be heard. Tell them you don't like this. Tell them whenever they decide to call you an ist or a phobe, tell them to go screw themselves because they don't matter. Not one of their damn insults that they're going to fling. Their slings and arrows mean a damn thing. If you're a fan of this, you know who you are. You know who you are, and some douche nozzle on Twitter that wants to call you any number of insults, or some director, or some writer, or whatever that wants to insult you. Just remember, the writer, the director, and the actor, the one thing they forget is you still have all the power. Much like I am a monkey dancing for coins. That's all I am. Except for I don't dance for coins because I'm not getting anywhere. And I don't ever anticipate on getting anywhere. I just do this for fun because I suck. So I might as well have at least fun while I suck at it. I have no idea how to edit or anything. But there are people. But the thing is, these people, in the end, they're just paid to dance for the coins that you toss at them. That's all they're there for. That's it. They're dancing monkeys. The writers, the directors, they're here to try to entertain. And unfortunately, they focused on the wrong people for so long that they're about to find the real people don't put up with it anymore. Because we finally hit that time because nobody has the money to blow on their stupid crap. Either way, I hope you have a pleasant evening, day, or whatever it is for you. I will be back, like I said, streaming right after each episode. I'll be streaming it'll probably be closer to Friday morning because I don't remember how long each episode is, and they're showing 2 episodes for the premiere, so I will definitely be on after that, about an hour after that's done. So I hope you have a pleasant evening, day, or whatever it is for you. Watching us on replay, please, like I said, please leave comments. Thank you for even lasting this long, and I will see you in the next stream.